Right. You want to be like, nah, I want to be close to my school. It's like, no, we got to follow with it.
All right. All right, read it one more time. I'm going to ask the brothers a question. Read it again.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
All right, so it says the head of the woman is the man. What does that mean, brother, right here? Take a guess. You can get. It's a spot to be wrong. It's a spot to be wrong. Right here. What's your name? I can't hear you. What does it mean when it says the head of the woman is the man? What does that mean? Let's take a guess. Okay, if it says that the head of Christ is God, what does that mean?
You guys got a church?
Y'all doing a section like you say.
Or if it says Christ is the head of the man, what does that mean?
We've been looking for a church.
Yeah.
Order of operation.
Hey, I want them to stick around. I want them to hear this. Go ahead. I can't hear you. Step forward.
It's like the order of operation.
So the way things should be. So the brother says that the head, the man being the head of the woman is the way things are supposed to be. So if a man is the head of the woman, how is a marriage 50-50? How is it set up? A brother right here, what's your name? Marcus. Okay, when it says that the man is the head of the woman, is that 50-50? Is that 100-0? Is that right? Is that a 50-50 relationship? Because in society, what do they teach you? They teach you 50-50, right? So is what God said, is that 50-50? No, so what is that? What percentage am I looking at?
It's above 50-50 because we supposed to be one, so I mean it makes sense for her to follow the law.
Right, but okay. Sister right here, sister. Hey sister, I got a question. Brother, let me ask you, is that 100% or is that 50-50? That's 100, meaning it's not 50-50, meaning we don't share power in the household. So read it again.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Right, so there's an order that's set up. There's an order that's set up. It's not 50-50. It's not the woman is over the man, because nowadays they teach you that the woman is God. They call her queen. They set her above the man for a reason. If I break down the black household, I break down a nation, right? That's what happens. Read verse 8.
Verse 8. For the man is not of the woman.
So remember, they say that the black woman is God. They call her queen. They uplift the black woman, right? So read it again.
For the man is not of the woman.
So it says the man is not made of the woman. Go ahead.
But the woman of the man.
So the woman of the man, because you know what do they say? They say that men wouldn't be here without women.
No.
That's what they say. That's what they all say, right? But it says that the woman is of the man. Because remember, Adam and Eve. Eve came from Adam. Read on.
Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man.
So he said, neither is the man created for the woman, but the woman created for who? So if you're created for something, what is your purpose?
To obey.
To obey in what? What's the other word I'm looking for? To serve. So nowadays, is it taught that the black woman should serve the black man?
Hell no.
Brother, you're making a weird face. What do you think?
Let me tell you.
Huh? No situation. I can't hear. Step forward. I can't hear you, man.
My situation, when I'm going through my relationship, it's different. I gotta do it.
You gotta do what?
I gotta do this, get money out.
Right. So is your relationship 50-50, or is she serving you? Is she letting you rule as a black man? It's 50-50. Did the Bible say it's supposed to be 50-50? Does the Bible say it's supposed to be 50-50? It says 100-0. The man is the head of the woman, right?
That's right.
Go to Sirach 33:19. Understand, this is not the way that the brother brought it out earlier. It says that everything is turned upside down. I mean, they put the woman on the top. the black woman on top, and they put the black man on the bottom under the dirt.
Right.
The black man's below the black kids. That's not the order.
Right.
That's not the order. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 33 and verse 19.
Bring it out.
Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend,
So it said, give not thy son and wife, go ahead.
power over thee while thou livest.
What does that mean?
Bring it out.
Read it again.
Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee while thou livest.
So what does it mean to give my son or my wife power over me?
Bring it out.
I want the men to speak. Because God's looking for men to raise up the nation. That's what he's looking for. What y'all got? If I give my wife power over me,
But I mean, it won't be 50-50 if I got it. Because she got to listen to me as well. You feel me? I'm the man in the household. So you got king and queen.
right, but remember, what did God say? He said that the man is the head of the woman, right? So if he says that Christ is the head of the man, can I fight with God or Christ? Can I tell him what I'm going to do? So why should it change when I get down to the black man and the black woman?
Right.
So the woman, should she say, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do?
Teach!
I'm going to tell you, if you lose your job, I'm leaving you.
It shouldn't be like that. That's toxic.
Right?
So,
but he's saying, do not have preeminence over you.
Right.
Don't have power over you. Meaning, the head has the power. The man should have the power.
Right.
Because God gives specific instructions on how the man should deal. And this right here tells you. Read it again.
Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee while thou livest.
So you shouldn't be giving your wife power over you. So that goes back to the same situation we talked about earlier about, go to 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34. It goes back to the same situation that we talked about earlier. You mentioned that you've heard people say that I'm not supposed to speak over the man. So what happens when your wife is speaking over you, telling you to shut up, and you're just sitting there? You let her tell you to shut up, and that's it. You're giving her power, preeminence over you.
Right.
Right? Read this.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34.
Bring it out.
Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law.
That's
So
right.
it says, as also saith the law. So does that mean a woman can't speak in church? No. But she has a time and a place. Right? And if she has any question, did you read that part? Read that part.
Verse 35. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands.
That's cool.
Ask their husbands.
Ask another man.
Ask their husbands.
Ask their husbands where?
At home.
So that's the type of power that the Lord gives to the man, to the black and Hispanic man. When your wife needs to know the answer to a question, who does she ask? She goes to her man. She don't go to any man, right? That's the type of power you have. Once y'all make this official, that's the type of power you have as a man. Go to Numbers chapter 30, verse 8. I want to show you more on what type of power the black man is supposed to have, Hispanic man is supposed to have in their neighborhoods. Because look, if you look around, you look at our neighborhoods, do you see a lot of marriage? The majority of our people, they're not thinking about marriage. What are they thinking about? They talking about hit it and quit it and that's it. Majority of our men, that's how they are. I can tell you that most of us was thinking that prior to coming into this knowledge. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
The book of Numbers, chapter 30, and verse 3. And verse 8. But if her husband disallow her on the day that he heard.
Start at
Verse 6.
start at 6.
Verse 6. And if she had all.
No, start at 3.
Verse 3. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house, in her youth.
So remember, it says a man shall leave his father and mother to cleave unto the husband, right? So now this is before that happens. If a young woman lives with her father and she vows a vow to the Lord, she sends up a prayer to the Lord. What can he do? Go ahead.
and her father hear the vow, and her bond wherewith she had bound herself.
So if the father overhears her daughter praying, right, making a vow with the Lord, go ahead.
And her father shall hold his peace at her.
Meaning he doesn't say anything. When he hears her say something, he don't say nothing. Go ahead.
Then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand.
So whatever vow a young woman makes in her father's house, and he doesn't disannul it or say, I don't want that to stand, it stands. Go ahead.
But if her father shall disallow her in the day he heareth it.
So he hears something crazy come out of his daughter's mouth. He has the power to disannul it, meaning disallow it. Go ahead.
Not any of her vows or her bonds wherewith she had made her not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed her.
So the Lord listened to the husband, to the father, right? That's the type of power he gave to the man in the black community. So to his daughter, he has a power to disannul her prayers. My daughter can go and send up a prayer to the Lord, and I can say, you know what? Lord, don't listen to that. And he's going to respect that because he gave me the power to do so. But let's see what happens. What happens when the wife leaves the house to go live with a man? Go ahead.
And if she had all an husband.
So if she has a husband, go ahead.
When she vowed or uttered out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband disallow her on the day he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect.
Right. So the husband has the same exact power. So that's why it says in go back to Matthew 19. Let me get another reader. Ari, let me get you as a reader. So that's the type of power that he gave to the husband or to the father, right?
Right.
He's able to disannul the prayer of his wife of his daughter.
Right.
That's the type of power that the black man was given. Now you said that, what did I ask you to get, Matthew 19? So you mentioned that in your household it's 50-50, right? Now are you married? It's a girlfriend. Y'all live together? Okay. All right. So this goes back to the same situation that we get into. A lot of times our men stick with women because they're the mother of their child, right? We end up with baby mamas, baby daddies, and that's what happens. But guess what never happens? Marriage never happens in the black community. But go back to Matthew chapter 19.
Matthew chapter 19. Matthew chapter 19 verse 9. And I say, verse 5, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh.
So remember, once you leave your father's house, your job is to marry. As a woman, that's what you should be looking to do. In 1 Timothy 5, it says, a younger women marry, right? So it says they cleave to be one flesh. So what are they one flesh after? Whose mind are they after? You got a husband and a wife. After the man? You sure? Are you sure? All right, let's get it. You got what I want? After mine, after your own? Is that Sirach? 25. 25, just go to it. So, in your household, how should the order be set up? How should it be set up? Not how is it set up, but how should it be set up? It should go your way on your end. But that's only if you abide in the commandments. I'm going to read something in a second. Drop that real quick. Go to Hebrews 7:26, read that. So it's supposed to go the way that you want it, but that's only if the marriage is in the Lord. What does it mean when I say it's in the Lord? Meaning both of y'all are believers. Both of y'all understand that you're Israelites according to the Bible. You can understand the black woman does not understand her role because she doesn't know who she is.
Right.
If she understood who she was, she would honor the man the way he's supposed to be honored.
That's right.
That's what would happen. But because she doesn't understand and you don't understand, we got 50-50. Or all the power is in the woman's hand and the man has no power.
Right.
Read that.
Sirach chapter 7 verse 26.
Bring it out.
Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Sirach chapter 7 verse 26. 24. Hast thou daughters? Have a
You got a son or a daughter? You got a daughter. Go ahead, read it from the top.
Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body, and shew not thyself cheerful toward them. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a mighty matter, a weighty matter.
So it says marrying your daughter is a weighty matter. So understand, it says marrying them. They're not choosing. It says marry your daughter, meaning you pick the man that's best for your daughter. Why? Because you know your daughter better than anybody else, right? So that's why it says it's a weighty matter. That's why the man should have a say-so in who his daughter marries. Read on.
But give her to a man of understanding.
So what type of man should you give your daughter to? According to what you just read. Read it again.
But give her to a man of understanding.
What the Bible say? Read it again.
But give her to a man of understanding.
A man of understanding. Huh? So what is a man of understanding? Do you know? Hold that real quick. Go to Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Understand, the way that our men are taught nowadays, or what it means to be a wise man, is the wrong way. They're taught that if you got money, you know how to hustle, you know how to, you're an alpha male, then you're good. But the Lord has a particular way that he tells the men to be.
Right.
Read this real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
So the Lord gave us statutes and commandments. Go ahead.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding.
So what is our wisdom and understanding as a nation? What's our wisdom and understanding? What did we just read? What is our wisdom and understanding? Read verse 5. Is it verse 5? Read verse 5 again.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
So he taught us statutes and commandments. He taught us the laws of God, right? He taught us the laws of God, right? Read on.
Keep therefore and do them.
So us, we have to keep and do the commandments. Go ahead.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding.
So what is our wisdom and understanding? Based upon what we read. What did the Lord teach us? He taught us the commandments, right? He taught us the laws, right? Y'all gonna get it. But he said he taught us the commandments. He taught us the laws. This is the wisdom and understanding that he gave to our people.
That's right.
But the issue is that we left it, right? So when it comes to choosing a man for our daughters, or being a man of understanding, or being a wise man, we've lost that because we left the commandments. Go ahead.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
So do the nations say that about us, that we're a wise and understanding people? They don't. They don't. They don't speak highly of our people at all. Why? Because we're stuck in gangbanging,
Right.
drug dealing,
Right.
killing each other,
Right.
stealing, right? Those are things that we're stuck in. So they don't say we're wise and understanding people. Why? Because we don't have what? Brothers, I want y'all to answer. I know you came a little late. What did God give us?
He gave us he gave us laws.
He gave us the laws, right? He gave us the laws. So understand that the other nations don't see us as wise and understanding because we don't keep basic commandments.
Right.
Basic commandments. Thou shalt not kill.
Right.
It's not hard to keep, is it? Thou shalt not steal. Is that hard to keep? No, it's not. Marriage is honorable. Is that hard to keep? No, it's not. It shouldn't be, but to our people it's very difficult. But let's get back to the point. Go back to 6, was it 6 or 7 and 25.
sir.
Go ahead.
Sirach, chapter 7, verse 25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
So marrying your daughters is a weighty matter. Why? Because you can give them to the wrong man,
Right.
to an abusive man,
Right.
to a dumb man,
Right.
to a man that doesn't know God's commandments.
Right.
Go ahead.
But give her to a man of understanding.
Well, now we back to it. What's a man of understanding? One that does what?
Follow the law.
That follows
That's
the laws.
right.
There we go.
right.
So a man of understanding is a man that follows the laws of God. Right? So if you're saying, okay, as a father, you want your daughter to marry somebody that's like you. So if the Bible says give your daughter to a man of understanding, you as a father must be what? A man of understanding. How can I expect my daughter to go marry a man that is of understanding, that keeps the commandments, knows how to run his house, knows how to hold down a job, knows how to deal with me as a woman or as a wife, right? How can I expect my daughter to marry somebody like that if she don't see that example? She got to see that example in the house, right? So when you look around at our nation, at our women as a whole, the reason why they marry the wrong people is because they don't have what in the house? A man or a man that understands what it means to be a man of God or a man of understanding. Right? But real quick, I don't want to get too much off point. Go to 1 Kings chapter 2. Because what does it mean to be a man?
Bring it
To what?
out.
To keep God's laws, right?
That's right.
Do they teach that? They teach that nowadays? How old are you? 27, how old are you? 24? 24? How old are you?
I'm 20.
20. All right. So, at all, you had your father in the house? You had your father in the house? Father in the house? So that goes back to the same issue. Is that some of us have no fathers in the house, so guess what? We come up with our own ways, or we basically make up what it means to be a man.
Right.
We see little pieces of men throughout our lives, whether it be the neighborhood drug dealer,
Right.
whether it be the neighborhood thief,
Right.
whether it be a good guy on the block. It don't
Right.
matter. Right? We find somebody that looks good to us and we gravitate towards. We take on little attributes of those people, right? And then when we get older, that's the man we become.
Right.
But if you have a father in the house, what are you going to become?
Like your dad.
You'll become like your father.
That's
That's what
right.
should happen. Read this.
1 Kings chapter 2, verse 2.
Bring it out.
I go the way of all the earth.
So this is David. David's going to give you we're going to see a relation between a father and a son. David and Solomon. David was the father, Solomon was the son. Go ahead.
Be thou strong, therefore, and shew thyself a man.
So David is about to die. He tells his son, read it again.
I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and shew thyself a man.
So he's about to give his son instructions. He's about to die. He said, be strong and show yourself a man. He's going to show him how. Go ahead.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses.
So, what did he tell his son? What did he tell his son? He said to do what? To keep the laws. But that made him what? If he kept the laws, it would make him what? A man.
That's right.
That's the point. If you keep the laws, you become a man.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.